Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the 6th episode for The Walking Dead Season 9. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on the preview pictures we have for this episode going into it, all of our characters' new looks. So first I thought we should take a look through at Judith's picture, which is really fun. Of course, we did get to see her in her current state, I suppose, or her, it's almost like future state. It's like we all of a sudden just jump 6 years into the future, right? So starting in episode 6 and at the end of episode 5, this is where we're at. How will that transition kind of play through in the episodes remains to be seen. Whether or not they'll show us some kind of montage or something at the beginning. Either way, it is a significant amount of time that we're skipping here. As I pointed out in a recent video, this is actually more time that's being skipped than we have actually seen the group go through in the series so far. So 6 years is more than Rick and the others have actually survived through already. So they're skipping over more territory than we've even seen in the show, maybe partially in order for Judith to grow up, right? So that she could be at the age where it makes sense for her to be in order to fulfill the comic Carl storyline as our television series version of Carl, sort of, with the patented hat and her, I almost want to say, comic booky type of look here, where she has the python at the front there, and of course, some kind of sheath or something for some kind of sword as well too. So she's basically, in the television series, an amalgamation of the Grimes family as a whole. You have part from Michonne, of course, who's still alive. You have part from Carl with the cap, the hat, the sheriff's hat, and then you also have the Colt from Rick, of course, is his signature weapon in the television series version. So I'm very excited to see what they do with Judith. I think that, all of a sudden, I mean, she was always an important character, but all of a sudden we just got a brand new A-lister in the series in like the last 5 minutes of the last episode. So it's pretty crazy that they could just bring in an A-lister so fast like that. But it is an intriguing idea, and it's the future for, we're in the future. It's the future for The Walking Dead, right? I guess without Carl in the television series version, Judith is the future. So really crazy stuff to see how things have kind of turned out. Of course, she is not alive in the comic book series version. She was actually killed off at the prison when the governor attacked the prison. So the comic book series, version of, I would say, Too Far Gone, when the governor attacks and he, with the tank and everything. In the comic book series, Judith actually died at that point, so she did not survive on further. In the TV series, obviously happy to see that she did, and might help fill that void a little bit, considering that Rick and Carl are now long gone. So, to start things off, cool. I'm really intrigued by the concept of Judith in the future here. Then we have one of Eugene, who looks to be climbing up some kind of water tower or something of the sort, which could be some foreshadowing for comic readers for the Whisperers. That's kind of cool. So we'll see with him. The new look for him, not much to say. I mean, it still looks like good old Eugene, but, hair color a little bit different, I guess. Just excited to see what they do with Eugene. He hasn't had much time this year, has he? I'm trying to think of how many lines he's actually had. I mean, just working with Rick on the bridge, but aside from that, man, he has been hardly in this season at all. So looking to see more from him, of course, going forward. And, him being an OG Walking Dead survivor at this point, too. One of the older ones that we have now with season 4 when they came in, right? And here we have Rosita as well, too. So, again, coming in with Eugene, right? 2 out of the 3 of that original group still alive. Kind of a new look for her this year with the braided hair, I want to say. She looks a little bit older, but, much the same. Maybe just a little, so not too much more to say about her look there than normal. Got the walkie-talkie, so she communicating with Eugene, maybe. And she's actually in a good number of these pictures and the sneak peek and the preview for this week's episode. So maybe look forward to seeing a lot more Rosita in the series this season. We'll see, what happens with her with regards to the Whisperers and them coming in. We know she's involved in their first sequence with the "Where Are They" sequence from the trailer. Here's another one of her again, looking at the walkie or broadcaster, whatever they have, and again, looks like probably searching for new survivors out there in the world 6 years after the disappearance of Rick to see if they can bring in, some new blood into the joint surviving communities. Then we have one of Carol here who has you want to talk different look, a totally different look, as of right now. I mean, the long hair, completely different, white to gray. Man, she looks really old, right? I feel like she looks like Herschel old. She does, man. She looks really old at this point, which is really crazy to see. There's also in the promo for this episode coming up, she's talking with Henry, I think, and she's just like sitting in like a rocking chair or a chair or something. And man, she looks so old, just so old. I'm sure she can still kick ass and everything like that. But damn, dude, when I look at her especially and Judith, I think like this is like The Walking Dead, the next generation. What we're about to see, like this is the future of The Walking Dead. This is, Rick and the others, they were able to do it. They were able to find sanctity and safety. And that's one good thing about the 6-year time skip. It almost feels like they were able to win so that the rest of them could have some kind of a life for these last 6 years after what happened with Rick and the herd and everything. So, man, just it really throws me through a loop when I see Carol with the long hair like that. It's kind of crazy. Here's another one, and like I said, man, wow, it just looks so old. Ezekiel does kind of too. I'm not sure. Maybe a little bit more gray in his hair than usual. Much the same in terms of his costume, but everybody does look older, man. It's really kind of crazy. So new costumes and that. Will they be back at the kingdom? Will they have kind of created a new kingdom? You can see the bus in the background there and maybe a lookout post there. So maybe. Here's another one of Ezekiel as well too. And a question of whether or not they got married by this point, because it's 6 years later. So would they have gotten married? Would they have, I guess we'll see. I don't know. Another one here of Carol at what looks to be the kingdom, and she's is she planting or doing some farming or something, something of the sort. Wow, dude. Wow, it's crazy, man. For some of these, here's the two of them here. I just don't know. I don't even know what to say. It's just I'm at a loss for words. It's just totally different from what we're used to. Completely different. Another one of Ezekiel here with could be the future version of Henry, who could be important. We'll see how much they use him. So not much more to say about him right now just yet. Are they at the sanctuary? Could be. You can also see one here where it's like in a factory type area. So either an outpost or maybe at the sanctuary. I'm not sure. And we'll have to see how well the groups get along now. Of course, it's been a while since the war, and maybe Rick was able to, in the end, bring them all together. Then we have one of Jerry here, too. We got a bunch of clocks in the background, keeping time, maybe. And, even Jerry, too, does look a little bit different. A little bit, I guess, a little bit older, too, with the longer hair and stuff like that. But, much the same look. Another one here of Judith with the Colt and everything else. Yeah, that's cool. And Gabriel talking to Aaron, and we can see that Aaron has a prosthetic arm there. Maybe Eugene made one for him, so that's kind of neat. A lot of us were wondering about that, and he does look quite a bit like Rick. I wonder if it changes things because, of course, Rick is going to the movies. So I wonder if they'll use Aaron as like a Rick in some way in the TV series version still. Then we have this one of Michonne kind of riding in on horseback to, I would think with the gates there. Is it Alexandria or, well, most likely Alexandria. Let's just put it that way because that, of course, is her home. And, the question of whether or not she'll be the leader for the overall joint communities is tricky to see, or if they have some kind of council or something like that they've kind of played with that idea before with the prison. So, I guess it makes sense for Michonne to be the leader of the joint communities, like the overall leader of everything. But we'll have to see how they do that. And also, of course, if Maggie's gone, who's leading the hilltop? Is it Jesus or is it somebody else? Also tricky to say. Again, here with Judith at probably Alexandria, and maybe the new Magna and her group in front as Judith is kind of looking at them. Possibly. Here's another one with Rosita there with Magna's group as well. So, a new group coming in, but just new. Everything about this just screams new in the series, because a new beginning, that's for sure, is completely, totally different from what we're used to. Rosita and Eugene as well here, and Michonne. It's crazy to think, like, after all these seasons and all these years, it almost feels like there's hardly any of our old school survivors left. You guys know what I mean? Like, it feels like there's hardly anybody that we really know that well, still in the show, which is crazy. The new look for Michonne's kind of crazy, kind of like the hair on the one side type of deal, longer dreads and everything. So that's kind of fun, but maybe just stricken with guilt after, of course, losing Rick all those years ago. I wonder if the 6 years has really done anything for that. Probably not. And maybe wonder if they're still staying in the same place. So there's Judith as well there too, and we got Negan, who looks kind of younger, even though 6 years later. Well, maybe things are going a little bit better for him now. Of course, after what happened with Rick and everything, he was in a bad way in last episode, so he kind of looks younger, to be honest, here, but at least he's healthier, and he's not kind of on suicide watch like he has been recently with the hunger strike and stuff. Another one of Michonne, not much more to say there, just again the longer hair to point that out, and then one of Daryl, who kind of looks like a hermit or something. He's wearing like I don't know what you're gonna call it. He's got like a spear or something made out of a branch or some wood or something. I don't know, man. I just don't know. So he's like in the water. Is he hooking some fish, right? As Merle said, right, back in, what was that, season 3? Crazy stuff, man. And here's one of him smoking a walker. So as a lot of us thought, and he said that he's not going to be like the next Rick to lead all the communities. That's not Daryl. Daryl's more like the Wolverine of The Walking Dead, I think, and you can see that here, right? Up to he hasn't changed one bit. Look at that one. Awesome stuff. So that'll be it for all of the pictures leading up to the 6th episode for The Walking Dead Season 9, man. Crazy stuff. Keep sending me your guys' questions. I'll have another video for you guys tomorrow. Did another one earlier, if you missed it, discussing whether or not Rick will ever return to the Walking Dead television series. You guys can leave your thoughts. Check out all the videos in the channel. Subscribe to the channel at the bottom left. And that's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another one. It's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.